Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. It's Paulie Esther here and Happy New Year. Hope everybody is having a splendid January so far. And speaking of January, Dead by Daylight had promised us that we were going to get some changes in January, and this looks like this is part of the teases for what's to come. And the developer update came out today as well, so we're going to read through that. I have not looked at it at all, but yesterday they gave us this tease that says, ouch, that looks like it hurts with this soon. And it shows Dwight here, and he has his mending bar for his deep wound in the middle here, right? So I don't know exactly what this change is, if it is just a quality of life to address the need to mend in the middle of the screen more friendly. We're going to find out in a minute. But this was the teaser yesterday, and we know that there were a few things that they had on the list that they were going to update for January. This was the list from the... we had like 3 or 4 months that were put on this list, and we're reaching the end of that. This is the January part. With a killer update for Freddy the Nightmare, perk tweaks to Fire Up, Remember Me, Wake Up, and Vigil, which are all part of the Nightmare on Elm Street chapter, and then update to statuses for Deep Wound. So this looks like this is part of that update to statuses for Deep Wound. Let's see what that's about. So today, they put this out. This first developer update of the new year is here. The Nightmare Rework improved visibility for Deep Wound, so maybe it is just a visibility thing where it's in the center of the screen. But we have the links here to the forums, so we're going to read through it together right now. Haven't looked at any of it, so let's go. Okay, so here we are on the official forums with the January 2025 developer update written by that Ryan here. And let's get right into it. We're back with another developer update, and some might say it's pure nightmare fuel. That's right. Freddy Krueger is getting a rework, and we've got you covered with everything to know about what's coming. The Nightmare, a major update. The Nightmare, Freddy Krueger himself, is one of horror's most iconic slashers. While he has proven himself to be a formidable foe for newer players, he's begun to feel a little left behind in Dead by Daylight's current landscape. We're excited to help players rediscover the macabre joy of donning into the signature sweater and wreaking havoc like only Freddy can. Interesting. We've made several adjustments to his power, which should help Freddy feel like the dream demon he was always destined to be. Our philosophy was to make the dream world's presence affect survivors even when they're awake, giving the Nightmare a consistently threatening edge with more flexibility than ever before. Change. Press the active ability button to swap between dream snares and dream palettes. This was what I thought one of the ideas would be to give him both of his dream elements and swap them the way that the clown can swap between the yellow and purple gas bottles. This has been long requested, and we're thrilled to finally make it happen. With consistent access to 2 impactful abilities, the Nightmare can live up to his name by slowing survivors down and shattering them psychologically. Having the ability to quickly swap between powers has the added benefit of raising the killer's skill ceiling while providing him with 2 different tools to utilize in a chase. Dream snares now move at 12 meters per second with a cooldown of 5 seconds. They can go through walls and upstairs, but not off ledges. Dream snares now have unique interactions with survivors, whether they are asleep or awake. Interesting. Sleeping survivors will be hindered for 4 seconds, while awake survivors will gain 30 seconds on their sleep meter. Interesting. Huh. Because before, when you were awake, the snares were no threat to you at all, right? But now this is going to help put them to sleep. This change grants the Nightmare additional flexibility while using the snare, allowing him to use them against a wider variety of opponents. Making it so survivors don't need to be asleep to be affected will make quite the impact, not just on a power level, but on a thematic level as well. Pallets can be triggered to explode in a geyser of blood. The explosion occurs 1.5 seconds after activation with a 3-meter radius. When a sleeping survivor is hit, they become injured. When an awake survivor is hit, they gain 60 seconds on their sleep timer. Oh my gosh. Dream pallets have been a fun and rewarding way to mind game survivors. and we wanted to add even more benefit to landing a successful deception. Now, even if the survivor does manage to escape the chase, they run the risk of sustaining a dark souvenir to remember you by. Interesting. So, just by me throwing down the pallet to get rid of it, I can become injured by it. Interesting. The nightmare can now teleport to completed, blocked, and endgame generators, as well as any survivor healing in the dream world. Dream projection on a healing survivor will teleport the nightmare within 12 meters of their position. Upon completing a teleport, survivors within 8 meters will be revealed with killer instinct and gain 15 seconds to their sleep meter. The teleport cooldown has been decreased from 45 to 30 seconds, and the teleport can no longer be canceled. An important part of the nightmare's playstyle is creating the illusion of being everywhere at once, and his dream projection is a major part of that. We've made a few changes to make this even more effective and remove the pain point of having survivors' progress rendering the nightmare's power obsolete. Yeah, so this was my argument, is that Freddy becomes weaker as the game goes along because he gets fewer points to teleport to. I was talking about this on stream yesterday, and I said, given that they have now implemented this change to the Houndmaster, where she can see completed auras in orange, it made sense that this would probably be a feature that would be used on Freddy, that he would be able to teleport to completed generators that he would see in orange. That was one of the things that I thought would most likely happen, and obviously it is. So, all right, I'm 2 for 2 on my predictions. But I did not foresee this teleport to healing survivors coming at all. So I guess that's going to work kind of like a pinhead arriving when you're working on the box, right? He'll appear near you healing. I did not predict that. That is crazy. All right. Finally, the dream world. Don't let the name deceive you. This psychological torture chamber is far from a dream. We wanted... Sorry, I have something in the way here. We wanted this update to inject sleeping survivors with a sense of terror, paranoia, and urgency, so we made a few small but crucial tweaks. New. In the dream world, healing survivors will be revealed by killer instinct for as long as they're healing, lingering for 3 seconds once they stop, allowing the nightmare to teleport to them. So he's going to get, a notification when anybody's healing. Wow, it's crazy. I wonder if people are going to stack like a lot of anti-healing builds with this, given that he is so connected to people healing now. We're also giving the dream world a slight visual polish, which should help immerse the players further into the fantasy. We have plans to continue improving this in the future, so keep your eyes out for even more to come. Interesting. Sleeping survivors can use any alarm clock to wake up. Instead of having to go to a specific clock. That's interesting. New, after using an alarm clock, it goes on cooldown for 45 seconds, during which it cannot be used. Okay, so you're using those up. And you can't just keep going back to the same clock unless, you wait the 45 seconds. On the survivor side, we wanted to address a few notable frustrations, mainly around alarm clocks and the general process of waking up. We're confident these changes will improve the experience of playing against the nightmare without having a significant impact on the overall balance. Interesting. All right, what else you got? We hope you enjoy this updated version of the nightmare, and we'll be keeping a close eye on your feedback, unless, of course, we happen to fall asleep. All right. The Nightmares add-ons. Rounding out this rework is a substantial pass to all the Nightmares add-ons, which will incentivize creativity when you're preparing your next loadout. While the list is too long to include, here are a few notable add-ons coming with this update. Well, obviously, they have to change the ones that, make you switch from snares to pallets, since that's going to be base kit. Red Paint Brush. The old version, all survivors started the trial in the dream world, and failed skill checks do not wake up survivors in the dream world. New, reveals the aura of survivors in the dream world when they are further than 32 meters away. Increases each survivor's sleep meter by 50%. Oh, when you miss skill checks, can you still wake up? Or is it going to be clocks only? Recently opened exit gates are blocked for 15 seconds with the old black box. New black box exit gates are blocked for sleeping survivors for 15 seconds when they are opened. Swing chains. Rusty but sturdy chains used to securely attach a swing seat. While survivors are in the dream world, the sounds of their footsteps are 50% louder. I never really liked that one. It kind of threw me off. It would make me think that survivors were closer than they were. After using dream protection, block all vaults within 16 meters for 6 seconds. Whoa. Keep an eye out for the full list once the update goes live, but rest assured that the Dream Demon will have plenty of terrifying tools to work with moving forward. Holy jumping. Realm repeat prevention. Interesting. What is this going to be? To decrease realm repetition, we're implementing a realm prevention system, which will replace the existing map repeat prevention system. So the entire realm can't be played back to back, not just one of the variations. If you're not familiar, there's a distinction between realms and maps. A realm is a unique world generally drawn from the memories of a character and contorted into a nightmarish landscape by the entity. Some examples are the Macmillan Estate, the Coldwind Farm, and the Red Forest. Maps are a variety of different locations drawn from within each realm, and while they are different from one another, this new system will ensure that you'll never be sent to the same realm for back-to-back trials. Note that using map offerings will override the system. So, in the past, it would be like you can't go to the Wrecker's Yard 2 times in a row, but you could like go to Wrecker's Yard and Gas Heaven back to back, for example. So now this would be like none of the Junkyard maps can go back to back. You have to go to a different realm completely. It'll be Macmillan or whatnot. Interesting. Can't go to 2 farms in a row, 2 Macmillans in a row, etc., etc. The Deep Wound update. While experienced players have grown familiar with the Deep Wound mechanic and mending, it has been a continuous source of confusion for newer players. So to help clarify this, we've implemented a visual update similar to the anti-face camp bar. This bar will be a lot easier to track, appearing front and center in the UI, and remain there until you are fully mended. We've also reduced the blood splatter and darkening effects that appear whenever you're in the Deep Wound state. Oh, that's great, because it's quite dark. Several subtle visual updates will now be added to the bar, highlighting the dire nature of the status. Check out the screenshot below. This is funny because people were complaining that this screenshot had too much blood on it. So if they're saying, like, I was like, hasn't it always been like dark and blood splattery? And they were saying there's too much blood splatter. So this is the reduced blood splatter. All right, so that's what it was. There is no change to the Deep Wound system itself, just the significance of pointing it out to you on screen. All right. Free character trials. What the heck is this? Dead by Daylight features a massive and growing roster of characters to make matters even more complex. Each character brings 3 unique perks into the game, with killers having an additional power to learn and master. It can be especially tricky to gauge which characters might suit your preferred playstyle. Longtime players may even remember specific offerings that let you play as a killer you didn't own, giving you a taste of what they're capable of. Yeah, those were called the splinters. Like you could have a glass splinter, I believe, and you could play as Amanda Young the pig if you didn't own her. Smoking splinter allowed you to play as Freddy, etc., etc. But you had to play them perkless, I believe. But so you could get these splinters on the blood web of another character. Bone splinter, was that Bubba? I forget. We're excited to be launching a new system that will allow you to use specific characters for free during an event period while in the event's queue. Note that only select characters will be available, chosen at our discretion, but they will be accessible to everyone. While this will be for a limited time with restricted access to the blood web, it will allow players to really get a feel for a new character and even complete character-specific challenges. Interesting. That's it. Wait, what about the perks? That's it for today's dev update. Thanks for sticking with us, and we can't wait to see you trying out the Nightmare in our upcoming PTB. Until next time, the Dead by Daylight team. What about the perks? What the heck? We were supposed to get all of perk tweaks for all of the perks that come with the Nightmare on Elm Street chapter. Huh. I was really hoping that Wake Up was going to have like a minor buff that if you're, you know how you can see when someone has will make it, and then you can say, oh, I'm gonna let them heal me because they will make it. Well, I wish like if you were by the gate and somebody had Wake Up, it would show you, hey, Wake Up is in play, so if you let go of the door, let them do the door, it's going to get open faster. Or even maybe have Wake Up battle No Way Out a little bit or something. But yeah, well, that's too bad. Unless they just forgot to put it in here. I don't know. We were promised some perk changes. I don't see any of it. Well, the Freddy's going to be very interesting. So does it say... Sorry, did it say when in our upcoming PTB? All right, well, they don't give us a defined date of when the PTB is, but generally when they start rolling out these developer updates and the teaser to show us like the soon and all that, it's usually quite close. So I would expect it this week, especially if, you know, they need 3 weeks for to get our feedback and make any changes. If they do indeed want to get this out in January, well, they need to put it out this week so that they have 3 weeks to look at how it's doing and make any changes before it would roll out. So if they want to get this out by the end of January, it would have to be sometime this week, I think. All right, well, that's all I have for you today. As always, thank you so very much for watching. I appreciate the time that you spend here with me on my channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, as it helps the channel a ton. And don't forget to take care of each other in and out of the fog. And we'll see you next time. Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.
It's a Gen Rush life for us. It's a Gen Rush life for us. Set a hiding, we do gens. Set a randoms, we got friends. It's a Gen Rush life